If you want to be that girl, you have to start from the inside out, and that includes not only your diet, but supplements as well. And that's what today's video is all about. And here are all the supplements that I am taking to be that girl, because we are all that girl. If you're wondering what kind of background I have, I definitely am not a doctor or have any medical qualifications to be talking about supplements. So no matter what I recommend, obviously, and of course, talk to your doctor first and start with one supplement at a time. Don't start taking all 10 at once. You're not going to know what's disagreeing with you or agreeing with you or making a change in your life. So that is my little disclaimer. Always talk to your doctor and seek medical professional help when diving into anything health related. My background, however, is that I took some nutrition courses in college, and then from there I have been working off and on for years in the health field. I was a health advisor at 2 different health food shops a few years ago, and I have learned a lot in the last over a decade now because I have immersed myself in the wellness community, very much so for a long time. So that is where my background is coming from, and I have done specifically a lot of looking into and research on supplements. And this is just my personal opinion. Again, talk to your doctor, but this is what I truly think actually matters, and this is what I'm taking for my health. And the supplements that I have noticed made the biggest difference and impact in my life so far. All right, my top 10 for life. Number 1, vitamin D. Are you shocked? Vitamin D is so overlooked. I know it's also the most commonly recommended. I'm in Canada, all doctors recommend you to take at least 1,000 IUs, some say 2,000 IUs, which is a great step in the right direction. But from what I have learned is that the studies that have shown the amount of vitamin D that you take, 1,000 IUs is the recommended daily dose, and you take that for months on end, your low vitamin D levels don't increase. But then the studies that were showing people taking 10,000 IUs and even more than that in different studies showed finally after months a slow increase in vitamin D levels. So of course, obviously, I think it's only a half an hour of sun per week is supposed to be enough vitamin D. Go out in the sun, obviously wear sunscreen, but do balance it and get some sunshine. Vitamin D is so important. The sun is good for you, in moderation. However, taking a vitamin D supplement, especially high doses in the wintertime, especially if you are living in Canada, is honestly essential in my opinion. It is so essential to our body. It is a hormone, it's not just a vitamin, and you can't really get toxicity from taking too much. I know there's a lot of conflicting information on that, but look into it. It typically only becomes an issue if you aren't taking things like my next suggestion of supplements and balancing it with other things. It can go too much into the vitamin D, but generally I recommend at least 2,500 to 5,000 IUs a day. So in the summertime, I alternate from 2,500 to 5,000, and then in the wintertime, I alternate 5,000 to 10,000 IUs every day. This is gonna help your bones, your mental health, digestion, your immunity, hormones. It's essential. Do not ever overlook vitamin D. That leads me to number 2, which would be vitamin K2. Also, before I move on to vitamin K2, the vitamin D3 that you're going to want to get is the D3 form. Try not to get D2, and if you are allergic to lanolin, you can get one from lichen. You'll just have to take a lot more of it than just a couple drops. Same with vitamin K2, you're going to want to find a K2. It is the more natural form of vitamin K. It's more absorbable. You can think of vitamin K2 as like little vitamin D's bestie. It tells the calcium where to go properly in your bones and helps you with any issues that would come from too much vitamin D without K2. Naturally, we should be creating K1 in our gut, but unfortunately that doesn't happen in a lot of people's diets. So taking vitamin K2, I would only really recommend, I believe it's 100 micrograms of vitamin K2 per the 5,000 to 10,000 range of vitamin D. So you don't need much of the K2. My little bottle lasts me a really long time. But these two go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Now, number 3 is going to be minerals. Our soil is majorly depleted of minerals. It's where we used to get our minerals. Also, our water is quite purified. A lot of it doesn't have minerals like reverse osmosis or distilled water, tap water. it's just not good. Minerals are so important, whether that's you taking a magnesium or you getting a seawater mineral blend or a fulvic acid or electrolyte powders or all of the above. It does not matter. Make sure you are taking high quality minerals every single day. It will help your entire body function better. Mentally, physically, minerals are essential. From actually being properly hydrated, because it's the minerals that hydrate our body. We can be dehydrated and drink water all day long, but if it's reverse osmosis or distilled, you're not getting anything. So it's actually going to take minerals from your body. It is less than ideal. It'll help you with sleep, energy, hydration. Minerals are everything. Especially if you're pregnant, oh my goodness, take all the minerals. And same with sodium. There's this product called Element and it has 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Sodium is good for you. Do not be scared of salt. Number 4, probiotics. Oh, Serena, do I really need probiotics? I think so. Fermented foods are a fantastic way to get good bacteria into your diet. I wouldn't go crazy with having tons of fermented foods and probiotics on probiotics. I think, oh, the more the better. Even though you do need a very strong amount of probiotics to even make a dent in your gut flora, you still don't want to go crazy with eating these foods all day long, because you can potentially create things like SIBO, where there's an overgrowth of bacteria in your gut, and you don't want that, obviously. So I recommend probiotics, especially if you have been on antibiotics or you're not feeling well digestively, a cold, anything like that. Probiotics are fantastic. I go for a liquid probiotic by Cultured Coconut here in Canada. It's a fantastic probiotic. It's very, very high in CFUs. It's in the trillions. You need, I believe, at least 10 million to actually be worth it. Anything under 10 million, do not waste your money on a probiotic like that. But probiotics are going to help your gut and your digestion, which means it's going to help your skin and your health, overall your mood. It's really the brain gut connection. Don't forget, it's your second brain. It connects, the brain gut connection is huge. So feeding your body probiotics and fermented foods, that girl's got good digestion. All right. Number 5 is going to be enzymes. So this is similar in the sense of gut health. Enzymes are going to help you keep from being bloated. It's going to help you digest your food significantly better. It could also help you if you have ulcers or gastritis like I do, being able to digest certain foods that you aren't able to, whether that is because you have something like gastritis or a stomach issue, or just generally because not a lot of us have enzymes naturally in our diet. It can be really, really helpful to take an enzyme blend. It also helps significantly with nutrient absorption, which is overall very, very important. So definitely look into a high quality enzyme. I will list all of my favorite brands of these supplements just to show you the exact ones that I am taking down below in my Amazon shop. But otherwise, honestly, just do your research, make sure it's high quality. Number 6 is going to be a B complex. But not any old B complex, okay? I take one by AOR, it's fantastic. You can also just take nutritional yeast that is naturally fortified, not fortified as in it's been added afterwards. So you have to get nutritional yeast in its natural raw form, and it is got so many B vitamins. It's very, very good for you. Even if you're not, I used to use it when I was vegan, I'm not anymore, but even if you aren't vegan, it's great to just add into your regular mac and cheese or your meals. It's got a great flavor. So something food-based to get your B vitamins is so important. So if you don't want to take something like AOR, which is the brand I take, which is mostly food-based, non-synthetic B vitamins, you could take something like a beef liver or beef organs supplement, which is also a great way to get your B vitamins. But B vitamins are super important. B1, for example, is so good for your brain. B12, of course, we know we need that. B vitamins really help us function better. Most people take a B complex, or they're in their multivitamin. The synthetic one, not so great. So look into the quality, be careful of the B complex, but make sure you are getting your B vitamins. B vitamins are going to fuel your cells, give you energy, and support your nervous system at the same time. So number 7, I'm going to say is zinc. This one is super underrated. It is really good for men and women. For men, it can help raise your testosterone if you are low. It's also really good for women postpartum or if you are under stress. It's really good for the immune system. If you are sick, I usually take like a zinc lozenge and take my supplements if I'm like forgetting it or anything like that. I always have a zinc on hand. The one that I take has a little bit of copper to keep that balance proper. You could take it every other day if you'd like, or take breaks in between it, but it's definitely one I love having on hand. Zinc helps your immune system so much, and it helps your metabolism as well. Even random things like sense of taste or wound healing. I always take it with food though. It can also help your digestion and your mind be a bit sharper. Just remember to be a bit careful with zinc and maybe not take it every day for long periods of time or take too much of it. Now, number 8 is going to be iodine. As we know, iodine is added to table salt, but table salt has been completely devoid of all of its minerals. So when you start taking something like sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, which is very common for people who want, more natural, healthy alternatives, we all go down the path of getting some sort of alternative salt to table salt for the minerals. And though that is fantastic, salt, first of all, is not enough to get all of your minerals. That is why you should be taking a mineral supplement. But salt is good for you, like I said. However, it is naturally missing iodine, and our diet is naturally missing iodine. Iodine's also a little bit of a controversial one. Some people say that you shouldn't take it at all. Doctors are hit or miss on it. I've watched a lot of Dr. Berry and Nisha Berry content on iodine and other doctors as well, and I feel strongly that you should be supplementing it. I've noticed a major difference in my life. So it helps you mainly with your thyroid, but your thyroid really functions your whole body. It's a very, very, very important thing, your thyroid. Nisha specifically has Hashimoto's, and she takes iodine, not just that, but alongside her diet, she's able to completely have her Hashimoto's at bay, if not in remission. It helps with brain development and bone development, your immune system. I'm 19 months postpartum actually, and I've been breastfeeding this entire time, and I've been taking iodine when I was pregnant and while breastfeeding. My midwives had no problem with it at all, and it is supposed to actually help the IQ of your baby, whether you're taking it from pregnancy or through breastfeeding, which I thought was really, really cool. It helps with mood regulation, cognitive function, skin, hair, nails. And a big thing that I noticed is that I used to get cysts in my breasts before I was pregnant. I haven't really thankfully dealt with that since. And iodine is known to get rid of those. It's incredible what iodine can do. I highly recommend doing a little bit of research on it, looking into it, talking to your doctor, because iodine is underrated. Also, I take about 1,000 or so micrograms of iodine every day. Just like Nisha, I take a little bit more than what is recommended because of all the benefits and the kind of misinformation around it. That's what I feel comfortable taking. Number 9, collagen. Collagen is so good for you, but not just any old collagen. Get yourself like a 5 blend. So you want a collagen that has beef, fish, egg membrane, and chicken. I think that's a 4 blend. I think there's some that are like 4 or 5. You want one that is well-rounded and has all the different types of collagen. It is a long game beauty supplement, but you will not regret it when you are older. It is so incredible for you, whether that is your skin, your hair, your nails, or your joints, which is going to be so important as we age. So start now, don't regret it, and be in your 60s just trying to start taking collagen now. Of course, you can take bone broth. You can take collagen in different ways. My favorite way is to get like a 4 blend, 5 blend, and put it in my coffees every morning or my smoothies. I love collagen that way. It's a fantastic way to get absorbable protein while getting all of those amino acids and benefits for hair, skin, nails, and joints. And that's why it's so important to get the 4 or 5 blend, because it is able to cover all of the aspects of collagen. Not every single collagen can help your joints. Not every single collagen can help your skin. So that's why it's best you get a blend. It's also super good for your gut lining. Number 10, last but not least, L-theanine. I notice such a difference when I don't take L-theanine. I take 1 capsule every single day. I take a sun theanine, which is 200 times stronger than a regular L-theanine. It is so incredible. It keeps me calm. It really helps me with my mood. especially because L-theanine is an amino acid not found in our bodies, but found in things like green tea. And green tea, even though it has caffeine, they've studied how L-theanine and caffeine work, and they work really beautifully together. Naturally, it makes sense because they're naturally found together in green tea. But if you isolate it, and now I'm having it with my coffee, I'm getting those benefits of the L-theanine and the caffeine from the coffee together. So it is perfect for someone who has anxiety and ADHD. It can just help balance out the caffeine effects a little bit, but keeping you sharp and focused. Now, I will say I take my L-theanine during the day because I want the calming benefits to affect me for the rest of the day. Some people, though, take it for nighttime, for sleep, and it can be really effective for sleep. However, I will say it gives me too vivid of dreams, so I don't take it before bed. If you already experience really vivid dreams or nightmares or anything like that, I wouldn't recommend taking it before bed. Just a personal thing, I would say. But other than that, I love L-theanine so much, I highly recommend it. What's amazing about L-theanine is, though it's not an amino acid found in our bodies, how it affects our brain is that it balances what we need in our neurotransmitters, unlike other amino acids, which I will touch on at the end of this video about things I wouldn't recommend. But yes, it's my absolute favorite mental health supplement that I recommend to everyone trying. L-theanine, please look into it. Now, these are my top 10 supplements for life that I will always want to have on hand, but I do have 5 honorable mentions and 5 supplements I do not recommend you taking. My bonus 5 are, number 1 is maca. Maca is a fantastic Peruvian little root herb, and it tastes kind of earthy, kind of caramelly. My favorite way to have it is in smoothies. I taste it too much in coffee personally. It's not a bad flavor, but it's a bit strong sometimes. All you need is really just a half a teaspoon every day. And you can take breaks, you can go back and forth, but it is incredible for energy, hormone balancing. It's just a fantastic herb to incorporate into your diet. So great for energy, libido, and mental health. Good for hormone function, which means it's also good for libido and sexual function. And adaptogen, which can definitely be a mood booster. It definitely helps support fertility and, of course, energy as well. So maca is great. I love maca. Number 2 would be protein powder. Though protein powder is not the most natural thing in the world, it is an isolated product taken out of its natural form. It's obviously much better if you just go and eat a steak or a piece of fish or chicken or something like that, or eggs. But nonetheless, protein powder is super convenient. So whether you're doing the whey protein, so I do a blend of the isolate, hydrosolate, and concentrate. And I have a blend of all of those because I find it's the best is if you have the blend, just like the collagen I mentioned. However, it's just super convenient to put in your smoothies and meet your protein goals. Honestly, it's as simple as that. If you don't do dairy or whey, or if you're vegan or anything like that, you can easily do a pea protein. Protein powder, you don't have to have it every day, but it's super handy to have on hand to meet your protein goals in a convenient and delicious way. So protein powder is on my bonus 5. Another one that I will mention, number 3, I almost put this on my top 10, but I had to make a decision, you know. I think I switched it out for collagen, but saffron. You might know saffron as a very expensive flavoring herb, but saffron is so incredible for you. I definitely love it. I've started taking it in the last few months. I've taken it mainly for mental health, and that is why I love it and why I'm recommending it. That with L-theanine is your like mental warrior combo. It's so good. Same with vitamin D and the B complex. Those are for mental health. Incredible difference in your mental health if you're taking a B complex with the vitamin D and with the L-theanine and the saffron. Like, you're gonna notice a big difference with your mental health. It's pricey, but it is a very, very good mood boosting herb. They have done studies on it where it is comparable to antidepressants. Now again, talk to your doctor, but I'm just saying that there are studies saying that. So look into saffron if you're looking for an herb that is genuinely very effective and powerful. I love saffron. So my number 4 bonus one is going to be herbal teas. nettle, lemon balm, puka cleanse is one of my favorite blends, chamomile. I mean, the list could go on and on and on and on. Herbal teas are so incredible for you, for your digestive system, your mental health. There is a herbal tea for everything. The ones I listed are some of my favorites. Raspberry leaf tea for cramps. Having these things in your arsenal, you are that girl, because you're prepared. You're prepared, you know, whether that's bloat, cramps, mental health, you want to go to sleep, you've got a tea for it. You've got a tea for it, you know? Put a little bit of honey in there, you're getting the benefits of the honey. Okay? Herbal teas, have a stack on hand. You don't like them, try some cold, like hibiscus. I don't like it hot, but I love it cold. Just experiment a little bit. Same with raspberry tea. It's nice in the winter to have it hot, but I do like raspberry leaf tea cold as well. So just experiment a little bit, and you know, if you don't like herbal teas, you can revamp your love for it by experimenting a little bit. But I highly recommend having an arsenal of herbal teas on hand. Now, number 5 is somewhat of a controversial one, but that's vitamin C. The reason why it's on my bonus list is because you don't want to really take ascorbic acid all the time. Synthetic vitamin C is just not good for you. You can do your own research on this, but I just don't really recommend it. I do take an electrolyte powder by Organica that has vitamin C powder in it, and that's really the extent I'll go. But I was taking a vitamin C powder that was a blend of things like rose hips and camu powder and a few other things. I think it was by the brand like Synergistic or something. I'll link it down below, but it was 100% pure powders of things that had high concentrations of vitamin C in it naturally. To me, that is the best way to get your vitamin C. Vitamin C is so good for you. It really is. It's going to help you with your immune system so much, but just be careful with it and take it in a form that is natural. So that's why it's on my bonus list instead of my top 10. Vitamin C is incredible. Just be careful with your source, but it's going to give you a glow and help you with your immune system. And who doesn't want that? So these are my top 10 for life supplements to be that girl. And these are my bonus 5 to have on hand when you also just want a little bit of extra help, whether that's some protein or some mental health or the other things we mentioned with the teas. We've got you covered. Everything here, this is your medical little medicine cabinet right here. This is your medicine cabinet. These are the top 5 supplements that I want you to be a bit cautious with. So number 1, let's actually go back and talk about amino acids for a second. So the reason why I love L-theanine so much is because it's an amino acid that again adapts to what your body needs and will help you balance your neurotransmitters, your serotonin, your dopamine, etc. When you take something like L-tyrosine, an amino acid that's naturally found in your body, it can actually lower the opposite. So if there's an amino acid that raises your dopamine, your serotonin's going to go low, and then same with vice versa. You're taking something that raises serotonin, your dopamine's going to go low. Now, just because I have ADHD and anxiety, you might also have the same thing. But you and I, our blood levels of neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, etc., are all going to, those are not the only two, there are more than that. But they're going to be different, our levels are going to be different. So then you're going to have to get very specific, take balances of L-tyrosine here, 5-HTP here, and mix all these different amino acids to make sure that they're balancing each other out properly. And most people, like, you can't just go to your regular doctor and get this blood work done to find out your neurotransmitters. It's kind of a big deal to get it done. So it's just, you know, you're better safe than sorry than to just start taking amino acids to try to help your mental health. I took L-tyrosine to help me with my ADHD, and it made me kind of like anxious and angry. So that didn't work for me. My friend had the exact same experience. It could have also been that we were taking too much L-tyrosine. Same with creatine. I noticed I was just not really happy with my mood while I was on creatine, which can happen to some people. Be very cautious with amino acids. That's why I like L-theanine so much. I personally am just done with experimenting with amino acids unless naturally found in some sort of food or protein powder, etc. Number 2 supplement to be cautious with is omega-3. If you are eating a standard American diet, it's naturally going to be filled with omega-6s. So taking an omega-3 supplement or a cod liver oil is actually really beneficial. So when you take the omega-3, when your diet is naturally high in omega-6s, they're going to balance each other out. However, if you are kind of, you know, living in 2025, trying to be healthy, you're probably avoiding things like excess seed oils. You might have, you know, go out to a restaurant once in a while, but maybe you're not buying it for your house. You're not buying sunflower oil for your house. You're not using canola oil to deep fry. You're maybe using alternatives like tallow or avocado oil or olive oil and things like that. Butter. That's all great. So the lower your omega-6s are in your diet, you're not eating a lot of seeds or nuts or things like that. Maybe you're a little bit more keto, a little bit more carnivore. Do you really need to take an omega-3? Especially if you are eating fish a couple times a week or once a week. I don't find taking an omega-3 necessary. I took it while I was pregnant just to make sure, and plus my diet wasn't probably very balanced at the time. I was avoiding things like seed oils and stuff, but nonetheless, you can take it. Cod liver oil is healthy for you. It's good for you. It's got vitamin A and vitamin D naturally in it, which is great, but I strongly urge you to be cautious with it. I don't think it's an absolute must need if your diet is properly balanced, but it can be beneficial. Now, number 3 to be cautious with is ashwagandha. I used to love ashwagandha, but I've noticed now, because it isn't an adaptogen, keep it plain and simple, it can make you feel worse. It can actually do the opposite effect and make you feel worse. So you're taking an adaptogen to make you feel better, and ashwagandha just goes ahead and just makes you feel worse. So I just think it's just not worth it anymore. I'm happy with my L-theanine and my saffron. It's just something that I avoid now, even though quite a few years back when I was working at the health food stores, I used to love ashwagandha. I recommended it, but now I'm just a bit cautious of it. Just some people can have some weird side effects with ashwagandha, so I just steer clear. So number 4 would be folic acid. Folic acid, you've probably heard, the synthetic form of it is just not good for you. You're gonna wanna take a folate or a folinic acid. So when I was pregnant, I took a folinic acid, which is essentially folate. That is the type you wanna take. It's actually even more controversial than that because some people say you shouldn't even take it at all, but this is a tough one. Folic acid is a tough one. I took it during my pregnancy because that's what everyone says you should take more than any other supplement, and I think it is really important. But at the same time, I have heard other people say that if you take even a folinic or a folate, that it can make your child now deficient in that thing. They now have to take it for the rest of their life. So I feel like it's just a cycle of the mother taking this B complex or this folic acid or folate or whatever, and their kid needing to take it for the rest of their life, or their mental health is going to be screwed. I've seen cases of this, so it's just something I'm super cautious with. I don't take it anymore. I just have it in my I think it's a folate, or I think it's a folate in the AORB complex, and it's a small amount, but that's all I take. Always steer clear of folic acid. Again, when I was pregnant, I took folinic acid or folate if you are going to take it, but overall just be very cautious with folic acid and look into it a bit. Now, number 5 I would recommend being cautious with is oil of oregano. I actually love oil of oregano. I think it's awesome to, again, have in your medicine cabinet with your other supplements and herbs and your Tylenol or whatever else you might have on hand. You know, we don't have to all be all natural. You can take your arnica or your Tylenol. Oil of oregano is a very powerful antibiotic, and when I am sick, it feels great on a sore throat. It's fantastic for killing off anything bad going on. If you have like food poisoning or anything like that, it's awesome. But if you're taking this all the time, just like trying to boost your immune system, it's actually going to do the opposite and kill your immune system. Like, it kills good and bad bacteria. So if you are going to take oil of oregano, just have it on hand for when you feel like you need it. When you're sick, you're coming down with something, whether that's a cold or a stomach bug or anything like that, take a little bit of oil of oregano. It burns a little bit, just chug it down some water. A couple hours after taking oil of oregano, you're going to want to take a probiotic to add back some of that good bacteria. So that's why I recommend just being a bit cautious with oil of oregano. Now it is time for you to go be that girl. So those are my top supplements for life to be that girl from the inside out. I hope you liked this video. Let me know down below if you are taking any supplements. If you have any that you recommend and you love and you swear by, let us know. I've debated making this video for a long time, but I feel like I just wanted to share, even if it helps just one person get on the right track. I would absolutely love that. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm Serena Moon. I make lifestyle content to empower you to live your best life. Over here, we are growing and glowing together, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I give practical tips for a profound life. And at the end of most of my videos, I like to leave you off with a little bit of words of encouragement or wisdom, if you will. Remember that any sort of glow up or aspirations you have to be the the best version of yourself starts from within. So whether that's from your diet or supplements you're taking to not only help your physical body, but your mental health and your mind, mindset is so important. Mindset is a part of that daily growing and glowing that I'm talking about. True wellness is mind, body, and spirit all the way. And to be that girl is just the best version of yourself, and the best version of yourself eats healthy, but also has treats once in a while, but takes supplements to get her crap together, you know, and make sure things are working right in the brain and the digestive system. You take care of yourself because you matter to you, so you can live a long and healthy life. It's so important to take care of your body and your mind. You don't have to do it all perfectly. Just start small. Start like one supplement at a time on your biggest concern area. So if that's mental health, maybe try out the L-theanine to start. If it's digestive system, maybe start with some probiotics or some enzymes, whatever is going on in your life and what you feel gravitated towards. Just make a small little step each day, each month, and I'm sure you will notice a major change in your life very, very soon. Your glow is not just from supplements, it's from peace and joy and faith and balance and stewardship. Do your part, but let God handle the rest. I'll see you next time. Take care. Much love your way.